excellence.
Good evening and thanks for tuning in. This is Sunday Special, our weekend magazine program where we bring you captivating and interesting features designed to make your evening truly a memorable one. Tonight, I did implore you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this exciting package we have put together for your viewing pleasure. But first, let's have the news segment. I'm Essie Omomaka, and you are welcome on board. Activities commemorating Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary have commenced in Abuja with a special prayer for the nation. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, represented by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, reassured citizens of Nigeria's steady move towards desired development, emphasizing the need for collective efforts to achieve a better Nigeria. Details shall be brought to you in our subsequent bulletin. Now, the National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers wants the federal government to urgently intervene in the dispute between Dangote Group and staff of its refinery. The union, which has directed its member to down tools effective from Sunday, 28 September, over the alleged sacking of about 800 staff of the company over disagreement on operations of the workers' union and their replacement with 2,000 Indian workers, says the action is against the Nigerian labor law and international labor organizations conventions. This decision was reached after Pegansing emergency NEC meeting held on Saturday, 27th of September. 28 September every year is being celebrated as World Rabies Day to raise awareness about rabies prevention and control. The theme for this year's celebration is Act Now, You, Me, Community, emphasizes the importance of collective action in eliminating this deadly disease. Rabies is a deadly disease that claims thousands of lives worldwide each year, with most cases occurring in Africa, and this is why the Nigerian government, through the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development, has declared an all-out war on rabies and pledged to eliminate the disease by 2030. World Rabies Day is encouraging pet owners to ensure their dogs and cats are up to date on their rabies vaccinations, participate in local rabies awareness campaigns and education initiatives, while also encouraging policymakers to implement pet licensing and data collection systems to aid disease control. Away from the news segment now, we shall go on a short break, and Sunday Special will return shortly after this time out to join us again.
Searching for a space to ignite your creativity? Nta Lagos Channel 10 studio provides the answer. Our studio is spacious and fully equipped with modern broadcasting equipment suitable for your programs and competitions. For recording and production of kiddies programs, spelling bee competitions, participatory rehearsals, programs and live performances, Nta Lagos Channel 10 studio provides the ideal environment to bring your vision to life. Our team of professionals are dedicated to help you achieve your goals, provide expert guidance, and support every step of the way. Contact us today to book your session at an affordable and discounted rate and let your creativity shine. For more inquiries, please call the following numbers: 0816-008-7357, 006-286-9030, and 0812-324-5519. NTA Lagos Channel 10 Studio, where creativity meets excellence.
Nta 10, station for excellence.
Hotel service that runs hospitality business as real business? Then look no further, because Suru Express Hotels is readily available to meet your hotel accommodation needs in a cozy and serene atmosphere. Courtesy and care greet your arrival at our front desk while you're checking out our various rooms, suites, deluxe, standard and express gold, all fitted for purpose you desire. Healthy nutrition is also a top priority at our tastefully organized restaurants in Suru Express Hotels. With our ultra-modern gymnasium, maintaining your fitness is guaranteed in a conducive atmosphere. To unwind and reduce stress, our world-class standard swimming pool and game centers are always available. We are strategically located in Surulere, Ikeja GRA, Ikorodu, to provide unparalleled hospitality and free parking and top-notch security. A choice of any Suru Express hotel is a choice made with wisdom.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Sunday Special, a weekend magazine program where we celebrate people, events, and culture. Moving on now to some educative and entertaining stories. Talking education, the need to invest in better training programs, continuous professional development, and strict accreditation standards for teacher education institutions to improve teacher education has been emphasized. This came to the backdrop of low student performances in examinations and generally falling standard of education. The report.
He says education is simply the soul of a society as it passes from one generation to another. Therefore, education gives one the necessary skills, knowledge, and ethics required for a chosen profession. As individuals, we all have our career choices, such as doctor, lawyer, engineer, architect, teacher, just to mention a few. All these fields go through the tutelage of a teacher. Teachers play a vital role in the educational development of an individual, so they need the intellectual and professional capability to thrive in their teaching job. In Nigeria particularly, it has been observed that there is a shortfall of this, resulting to poor quality teacher education.
Everyone is striving to get educated. So it means that we have to produce teachers in any way.
The institution for teachers in Nigeria is the College of Education and tertiary institutions, which are not really enough training for them.
With the high rate of unemployment in the country, leading to square pegs in a round hole, a situation where people who are not trained teachers secure teaching job as an option, this in turn has negative effects on the quality of education dished out.
The lowering of education standard in Nigeria, our students may not be able to compete favorably globally. And then there is the issue of job dissatisfaction on the part of the teacher.
Knowledge relies outside the culture of life practices.
The role of a teacher cannot be overemphasized. Hence, stakeholders outline strategies to improving teacher education.
When teachers are already in the system, there is what is called continuous professional development. That one must be in place.
We can update the curriculum. I think it's old-fashioned. I think we need to give teachers more strategies to deploy in the classroom, and we should start addressing ourselves as a nation. Is how do we improve the esteem in which the teaching profession is held? And it is salaries. Oh yes, certainly. That is their conditions of service, absolutely. Even in public service, are they able to rise to the top? In Lagos State, I'm always proud to say that teachers have a chance to become permanent secretaries. This is not happening in other states.
There is no doubt that teachers are nation builders, and a good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and instill a love of learning. Therefore, policymakers should continue to give this noble profession priority by equipping them with necessary tools and resources as they produce great minds to lead our country right.
All right, there you have it. Teachers are our national treasures and nation builders. Therefore, we need to invest in better training programs for them. Now, talking relationships. Ego in relationship can be one of the most destructive forces. If it is not understood and managed, ego seeks to be right rather than kind or connected. It feeds on pride, validation, and superiority. It is not about confidence or healthy self-esteem. Ego is more about defense and illusion.
Relationships that endure are often built on a foundation of mutual respect, understanding, and love. However, one of the most significant barriers to maintaining a healthy relationship is the presence of ego. Ego refers to our sense of self-importance, pride, and self-image. The concept of ego plays a significant role in shaping our interactions and relationships. Ego can be a double-edged sword.
When your partner constantly criticizes the other partner, it's going to make the other partner look stupid, as if he or she doesn't have a brain. So it's, at the long run, affects their self-esteem. And at the end of the day, that other partner feels less of him or herself. Also, gaslighting. When you gaslight, is a psychological manipulation in which a partner tends to make the other partner doubt his or her perception, her memories, his memories, or sanity. That's a situation where you start thinking, am I correct?
Ego can come in form of lack of respect, controlling and dominating behavior, emotional, physical abuse, lack of respect for boundaries, love bombing, possessiveness, and constant need for validity.
Recognizing ego in relationships can be challenging. A lot of people ignore this red flag, which results in severe damages later on. What are some red flags that indicate an ego problem in a relationship?
Each time a partner wants to raise an issue or you want to discuss something of concern, they avoid it. They're always on the defensive. That is one of the signs. Once your partner is always on the defensive, you know there is ego being placed.
Ego destroys humanity. It erodes the fundamentals of human existence. And it can be so destructive as to erode the self-will of the victim to the extent that even when the person is abused, you live in denial.
The potential for conflict is vast when ego is left unchecked in a relationship. When one partner is threatened, they may become overly critical, dismissive, or even abusive. Can ego be a sign of insecurity and low self-esteem in a partner?
Oh yes, it can. For a partner who has low self-esteem, one of the things they will readily do is they want to compensate for their self-inability, what they are not able to do. They already know that I'm not sufficient. They are feeling I'm not adequate. So they want to compensate. And you see them start behaving, they start displaying ego-driven behaviors.
Ego can be a significant challenge in relationships, but it is not insurmountable. How can we manage ego in relationships and prioritize empathy and humility?
If your partner can go in for counseling, because a lot of pride is involved, and is condoned by negative socio-cultural complexes. Oftentimes, the woman should apologize. There is dignity in begging a woman. A lot of individuals have mental breakdown now because they are forced or caged in egoistic vices of their partners. Enough is enough.
To manage ego in relationship takes a lot of effort, it takes self-awareness, and it takes the readiness to prioritize empathy and humility.
Ego plays a significant role in shaping our relationships, often leading to conflict and harm. By cultivating empathy and humility, we can create a safer, more supportive environment in our relationships where both partners feel heard, valued, and respected.
Okay, I guess you found out very insightful, interesting tips on how to understand and manage ego in relationships. Now, still talking relationships to marriage. A prenuptial agreement is a legal contract made between two people before they get married. It outlines how their assets, debts, and finances will be handled during the marriage and how things will be divided if the marriage ends in divorce or death. Nta Hassan has details.
Given the rate of divorce in recent times, the essence and acceptance of prenuptial agreement is gathering momentum.
It's a written contract for them to select and control the legal rights they acquire upon marrying and what happens when their marriage eventually breaks up by death or divorce.
Introducing a prenup into a relationship can have an emotional impact on that relationship, as it is a sensitive topic that can potentially create tension or discomfort between partners.
It's a very emotional topic for so many people, but it's a reality we have to face. So I always advise, do it with an open mind and be prepared for whatever will happen.
All efforts to speak to a couple proved abortive as they are bounded by strict confidentiality policy.
Now, confidentiality for me is one of the very major characteristics of a prenup. You can't joke with it, because if you disclose the details of the prenuptial agreement without the consent of the husband or the wife, it may create some problems in the marriage.
The potential complexity of drafting a prenup is surrounded by misconceptions and fears.
There's a lot of misconception about it. People can benefit from it. It's also one of them is also that it's mostly for those who have assets. No, it's not only for those who have assets. One of them is also that it's expensive. Prenup is cheap compared to what you go through litigation, trying to fight for divorce, your claims and all that.
Discussing prenuptial agreements can sometimes be uncomfortable and can create tension between partners.
Now, the first challenge is consent. The religious aspect of a prenuptial agreement. There is always a religious kickback. You know, you would hear parties say, either one of the parties or even both parties sometimes will say that my religion does not permit me to think of a divorce even before I'm entering marriage. Another challenge is that it helps parties consider a possibility that my marriage may not last forever. Now, I don't want to get to that point where if there are issues between me and my partner, or if my partner dies before me, I don't want to start thinking of what will happen to my assets.
One benefit of a prenup is that it can provide a sense of security and clarity in case of divorce or separation.
What if something happened, maybe a situation where somehow maybe another woman shows up and then you are like, what is going to be the lot of me and my children? No. So there's financial clarity. There's protection of separate property. Separate property are properties that you already have before coming into marriage. And then when you are drafting the prenup, you can decide to say, these are my family inheritance. These are businesses that are not coming into this marriage.
Now, I'm saying this as a major benefit because if you don't make this decision before the marriage and your marriage ends up in divorce, it will be challenging to start making those decisions at the point of a divorce.
It is advised that prenuptial conversations are approached with empathy and open communication. Remember, every relationship is unique, and it is crucial to prioritize honesty and respectful communications when discussing sensitive topics like prenuptial agreement. Seek legal advice to ensure the agreement is fair and legally binding.
All right, there you have it, another beautiful feature from Nta Hassan on prenuptial agreement. Now, talking health. In a world where millions strive to make ends meet, finding effective ways to manage stress is crucial. But can stress ever be completely eliminated, what are the most common causes of stress and how can they be mitigated? Oluwa Bukola Akande brings us practical solutions to tackle this growing concern and shares expert insights on managing stress in today's fast-paced world.
From the honk of vehicles to the loud voice of the bus driver to the noise emanating from residents striving to get things done, especially in the marketplace, these experts say are the predisposing factors to stress. Meanwhile, irrespective of the hustle and bustle, when stress is managed, life is managed itself. Zainab Ogunjimi, a medical practitioner, emphasized that stress cannot be taken out of the ways of life, but can be managed, highlighting the causes that may happen when it's not consciously managed.
Live a day at a time and take like one step at a time. Just worry about what is in the present and don't like worry about the future, because like the future is not certain, and then the only thing that you should worry about is like where you can change. So just make the best use of now, and then tomorrow will sort itself out if you are doing your best now.
It comes very slowly or sometimes suddenly. Sometimes it can come with not being able to sleep or sleeping too much. It can come with having very bad eating patterns. It can come with avoiding people.
Beyond workplaces, students from institutions also undergo stress as they shared their experiences.
I remember times during the strikes, during COVID, where I was just thinking, is it time to port to something else, restart? What could I be doing with my time now? So that was very stressful, but you know, everything comes to an end, and I'm happy that this too has passed.
It took me a while to find a balance between school and my regular life, but it was mostly putting myself first in most situations. So finding what works for me, and at the same time just knowing when to take a break, because it's very easy to beat yourself up when you're in med school or you're not reading when everybody's reading.
They suggested how stress can be reduced.
And so anything that you see as a stressor, try as much as possible to turn it into a motivation, then that's like achieve success. And sometimes just okay to cry. It's okay to like cry to your friends. It's okay to like cry to your parents. It's okay to try to God. It's okay to cry to God. And as much as possible, like just also endeavor to do healthy things for yourself. Like maybe it's like to go to movies, or maybe it's just to go to the beach or something.
They, however, noted that adopting practical solutions, individuals can take control of their well-being.
Okay, so we need to listen and take proper care of our bodies. You know, life is really important, so let's slow down and know when to have some rest. Away from that, there is no doubt that people with disabilities possess talents, strengths, and capabilities that can be just as powerful, sometimes even more inspiring as those of people without disabilities. Nkem Okibe will tell us more on ability in disability.
Uniquely designed to aid our navigation through life. Our hands, legs, and eyes are key parts of our body that we cannot do without. Imagine what happens when one or more of these parts cease to function as it should. It is usually overwhelming. To survive the hustle and bustle of daily life in our world requires a high level of intelligence and willpower for someone who is physically fit. How much more for a person with disability?
We face a lot of challenges. Number one, from Ikodu to Surulere, I believe you can see how distant this place is. So many of my colleagues that they are playing now, they are coming from far places like Ikorodu, Abulegba, all this stuff. And then there is no more capital on this thing. See if you can see some sponsors, some people that can sponsor this our game, that will be having a lot of tournaments. Ever since that we took that, we were having some money in our pockets.
In a world that often labels disability as a limitation, these exceptional Nigerians, Kobams Asukwo, Akinde Oluwaseun Tony, Flora Ugunwa, Onine Mark are changing the narrative and breaking barriers within Nigeria and the global stage in their various spheres of influence.
For a new world.
Folashade Oluwafemi Ayo, a name forever etched in history, a two-time Paralympic champion, lifted 167 kg to clinch gold in para-powerlifting at Paris 2024 and beat world record once again. She narrates what has kept her going, while also sharing her opinion on how to fulfill the vision, inclusion as it concerns persons with disability.
And I thank my mother. She's always been there for me in prayers. Whenever I just say, this place is failing me, you know mothers, she will say, yeah, okay, what will you take? Okay, should I boil water for you? Mama, don't worry. So I really appreciate her. She's a good mother. So I want to build my own academy so that they will come and train. From there, at least they will get their own goal. They will get to that place they want to reach. There is a right for disability in Nigeria. They should create more jobs, more opportunities for people living with disability, so that at least they will be self-independent.
Akinde Oluwaseun Tony, a basketball champion representing Nigeria Wheelchair Basketball Federation, believes that there are a lot of untapped potentials amongst those living with disabilities. He calls for the intervention of the government.
To just please to look into our hands, anything that they are doing in this country. Sports is only, this is our office. We don't have any other things to do. Like people with able now, if they are doing sports, they can easily enter force, like police or soldier. But there's no how. We can just join all these force. If government can help us, if they are doing like 2 for able, they can do like 5 or 6 for us, because this is what we just have. With this sport, we can achieve a lot. If government can please help us to put more money, especially with physically challenged, we are facing a lot.
These individuals are not just stars in their various fields. They are mothers, fathers, students, fighters, dreamers, and nation builders. With every lift, throw, goal, and voice, they echo one powerful truth. Disability is not inability. It is a different kind of strength, a staring reminder that vision isn't only what we see, but what we believe is possible.
All right, beautiful and inspiring people right there. Indeed, there is ability in every disability. So do not despair, but embrace your strength and take out that fear. The sky might just be your beginning. Well, this is where we call it a wrap on this week's edition of Sunday Special. Let's do this again, same time, same station, next week. Until then, do have a pleasant week. I am Ese Owomaga. Thanks for being there.